Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Italian program from Rocket Languages. I'll cover how the course is organized, what the lessons are all about, pricing, and of course, what you need to know in terms of pros and cons. So if you're ready, we've got a lot to cover. Let's hit it. Okay, welcome back. So I just want to mention up front here that since I'll just be covering the highlights in this video today, if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written review over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight Rocket Italian Review. It's a quick way to find it. Alright, so let's jump in here and quickly talk about plans and pricing since Rocket does things a little differently than other language apps. In short, they offer lifetime plans as opposed to monthly or annual subscriptions. And as a result, the Rocket Italian program appears to be more expensive than competitors like Babbel, Pimsleur, and Memrise on the surface. So how it works is that the Rocket team breaks their plans down by learning level. The Level 1 beginner package costs around $150, the Level 1 and 2 intermediate bundle costs $300, and then their advanced bundle with all three levels costs around $450. However, it's important to note that you almost never pay that price. And that's because Rocket is almost always running some sort of deal or special promotion, and I usually see their course discounted by 40 to 60%, so be sure to check for coupon codes before buying. In fact, I'll actually do my best to keep the description down below updated with the most current codes and coupons that I can find, so make sure to check that out and save yourself money if Rocket does end up being the right fit for you. Okay, so now that we've covered pricing, let's talk about how the Rocket Italian program is organized and what their lessons are like so you can get a better feel for what to expect. So as I mentioned a minute ago, the Rocket Italian program is divided into three overarching levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Pretty simple. And then within each of these levels, there are 6 learning modules, each of which breaks down into around 8 to 10 lessons. And these lessons vary. They actually come in 2 different types of formats. About half of the lessons take the form of interactive audio lessons, and the other half are called Rocket's language and culture lessons. And that's probably a good segue into what the actual lessons themselves are like. And let's start with those interactive audio lessons. These are really the highlight of the Rocket course in my opinion, and what sets Rocket apart from other popular language apps out there like Rosetta Stone, Babbel, and Busuu. So here's how those work. Each lesson, which takes around 20 to 30 minutes to complete, features an English-speaking moderator that essentially walks you through a conversation between 2 fluent Italian speakers. The moderator will start by setting the stage for the upcoming conversation and what the primary goal of the lesson is. From there, as the conversation starts to unfold, the moderator will intermittently stop to explain what you just heard, provide vocab and grammar insights, and allow you a chance to practice your pronunciation out loud. That's one thing you need to keep in mind as you work through these mock conversations. You will be asked to repeat words and phrases out loud alongside the fluent speakers, so make sure to complete these lessons in a quiet place where you can talk out loud to yourself. Then, after the core audio lesson, you'll be prompted to complete a series of exercises and drills designed to reinforce what you just learned. These include flashcards, more pronunciation practice drills, sentence construction exercises, and quizzes, as well as an opportunity to recreate the mock conversation that you heard earlier by filling the role of one of the native speakers. And that's essentially it as far as the interactive audio lessons go. Now, the other lessons from Rocket are their language and culture lessons, which include detailed grammar information as well as interesting cultural tidbits. You'll typically start by reading through a few short digital explanations of the grammar rules being covered, then practice with a few examples, and then finally the lessons will finish with a short note regarding an important cultural point. All in all, I'd say these language and culture lessons take about 20 to 30 minutes to complete from start to finish, if that. And that's really it from a high level. Beyond those 2 types of lessons, there's really not too much to the program apart from the occasional expert tip and a few survival kits as they call them. And I know I covered that really fast, so if you do want to see some examples of the Rocket lessons that I just covered, make sure to check out that full detailed written review that I mentioned earlier. I'll have it linked down below in the description. I have more screenshots and analysis over there so you can get a better feel for what to expect. And by the way, if I could just say, we work really hard to produce honest and helpful content all totally free, so if Rocket does end up being the right choice for you, we'd really appreciate it if you'd use those links listed down below in the description. That's how you can support our channel and it allows us to keep creating these types of helpful videos. Okay, so now that we've covered pricing, how the Rocket program is structured, and what the lessons are all about, let's get to the good stuff, what I like and what I don't like about Rocket Italian. And let's start with the major pros. And the first one is easy. It's Rocket's interactive audio lessons. These guided audio lessons are awesome and really help differentiate Rocket from competitors. Most other language learning apps out there, apart from maybe Pimsleur, focus on short, basic lessons that don't really include any sort of in-depth verbal or conversational practice. But with Rocket's audio lessons, that's obviously not the case. You're actively involved in following the conversation so you can understand what's going on and respond at the proper times, which in my opinion is very effective at getting you to recall and use the language under pressure just like you would in real-life situations. which really at the end of the day is about the closest thing to immersion and the best way for truly learning a new language. Okay, so pro number 2, and this somewhat relates back to my previous point. I think Rocket's lesson formats and overall learning framework are more ideal than other language learning apps out there for helping you progress towards an advanced level of fluency. And really, I say that because of the conversational speaking component that I just covered. With other language companies out there like Rosetta Stone, Babbel, and Monly, for example, their lessons primarily center around vocabulary flashcards, quick hit drills, and repeating words and phrases in a vacuum. In other words, the lessons are somewhat basic. There's really no opportunity for spontaneous language usage that mimics or simulates full conversations like you get with Rocket. Alright, so next up, pro number 3 is Rocket's speech recognition technology. So, the nice thing with Rocket is that they actually use Google's Web Speech API, which many consider to be one of the best speech tools in the world. So as you complete audio lessons and various reinforcement drills, the Rocket program records your voice and then uses Google to determine the accuracy of your pronunciation. You'll even receive a grade from 1 to 100 so you can closely track how you're doing on pronunciation, and I found it to be pretty accurate. Now, to be fair though, no speech recognition technology out there is 100% perfect. It's not a one-for-one replacement for conversing with an actual fluent Italian speaker. But still, compared to other voice recognition software that I've tested, the Rocket-Google combo is one of the best on the market. Okay, so next up, number 4. I like that Rocket actually makes grammar content and instruction a priority within its coursework. This is opposed to other language learning companies out there who simply sprinkle it into their main lessons. Rocket conversely covers grammar in multiple ways. First, as you complete Rocket's audio lessons, the moderator routinely stops to explain different grammar principles and verbally explain the why behind them. And then the lion's share of the grammar instruction is delivered through the company's language and culture lessons, which I already covered earlier. So bottom line, I was just really impressed with the level of grammar that the Rocket Italian course provides, as well as how Rocket blends this material into their lessons. Okay, so last up here, number 5, is Rocket's new digital interface. So, a while back when I was testing Rocket's Spanish course, one of my main criticisms was that their desktop and mobile apps had this clunky interface that just seemed outdated and boring. It just felt really old school, especially compared to other modern apps. But since then, Rocket has totally revamped their digital platform and user experience, and it is awesome now. Everything is really clean and sleek and intuitively organized. It's just a polished design that I think is just as good as others now, like Babbel and Duolingo. Okay, so let's switch sides now and talk about the things that I don't like about Rocket Italian. But before I get to that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free language learning course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter. Everyone is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description, but just know it takes like 10 seconds to enter, and hey, you never know. You could win a totally free subscription to Rocket Italian. Alright, so the first con in my eyes is that the Rocket Italian lessons might not be the best option for visual learners, since their lessons just lean a little bit more towards audio and text. Really, beyond the small number of images used in the language and culture lessons, there's really not a ton of graphics and visuals throughout the Rocket course, which obviously may be an issue depending on what type of learner you are. For some folks out there who really need graphics to help the material sink in, then Rocket just might not be in the cards. Okay, so con number 2, while I do think that Rocket's audio lessons are extremely effective, there are a couple drawbacks. The first being that the lessons are somewhat lengthy. To complete a full lesson, I'm talking about both the audio portion and the reinforcement drills, it takes around an hour or so to complete from start to finish. Of course, you can always pause a lesson and return to it later if you don't have the necessary time, but if you want to complete full lessons in one sitting and you're kind of limited on time, maybe you're looking for short 10 or 15-minute lessons to better fit your schedule, then Rocket might not be a great fit. Plus, I have to admit that the audio lessons can feel a little sterile. The moderator is sort of subdued and there's no real humor or personality. It's just all business. Now don't get me wrong, they are engaging and they do a good job of holding your attention, but I just felt like the audio lessons could use a little excitement and a little fun factor. And lastly, con number 3, the Rocket program overall just doesn't seem to have as much of a community feel as other language apps out there. Sure, there is a leaderboard where you can see how you compare with other Rocket users and a forum where you can chat with other learners, but by and large, these features just feel like they're more of an afterthought, whereas with other language apps out there, they really go the extra mile in developing a community-like feel among its user base. For example, Busuu actually matches learners up with one another and has you provide feedback on each other's speaking exercises. Memrise allows users to create courses and follow each other, and even Duolingo has a pretty unique community feel with its gamified language learning experience. So I guess what I'm saying is that if interacting with other Italian learners is important to you, Rocket might not be the best choice. But anyway, that about does it for the detail in this review, so let's get to my final verdict. Should you choose Rocket to learn Italian? Well, after testing this program, my answer is absolutely yes. That is, if you're truly serious about learning Italian and you want to reach a point where you can actually hold basic conversations. But if you just want some quick 10-minute nightly lessons because you want to learn a few phrases before your trip to Rome, then I actually think Babbel and other apps might be a better fit. But like I said, if you're looking to reach an intermediate to advanced level of fluency, then I think Rocket is a fantastic option. Yes, the lessons are a little lengthy and intense, but by and large, I think Rocket is about the most robust and effective platform that I've reviewed. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. I hope this video was helpful and you learned a little something. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping us a quick comment below. That'd really be appreciated. And again, if you want to see that full detailed written review that I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the rest of the videos on our YouTube channel. We have a ton of great content out there. But as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.